Romeo, Casanova, I am your father. That's a Star Wars reference. I'm a dork sometimes, but I had to say it because today's conversation it's gonna be about those about Star Wars and Star Trek. The differences for me and I like what I liked about each one of them and what I don't like about each one of them. No matter what generation you are, um, I have a strong feeling those things are still going to be around, and a lot of people are going to talk about them. Oh, here comes the neighborhood. The Imperial Baby Walker. What's up, Athena? Say hi. 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 All right. But I like the reason I'm talking about those two shows, and I did a little reference line is almost everybody is gonna know that no matter what generation you are, how old you are, you'll hear that line somewhere eventually. No, baby, leave it there. Thank you. Go, go get juice. You can go get juice. I don't have none. Um, go, 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 go. But the reason I like I actually like my favorite Star Trek. Not gonna lie. I always have, but I have fond memories of some Star Wars stuff. Um, I think the problem is that Star Wars is okay. They both came out roughly in the same decade. The difference is that Star Trek, the ones that most people like now, the most popular series is the Next Generation, which came out about a decade or two after the original. So even though some of the costumes, some technology stuff might seem a little dated, it's still futuristic enough that it's a foreseeable outcome. The first Star Trek, a little bit cheesy. William Shatner. I mean, he's a great actor for his time period, but it's got so cliched some of the stuff he did that people even call a certain type of acting when you oversell it. You Shatner and then up the scene, or you Shatner the scene, because that's, I mean, because it means something like this. Damn it! It's like he was over the top, and it's funny because Picard, who was the captain of the second Star Trek series, Next Generation, he was a classically trained actor. He actually did Macbeth and a lot of other stage performances, and he did not sell it like Shatner did. And everybody over exaggerates. Shatner isn't that bad. He wasn't that bad. But damn it, Jim. Damn it, Spock. Do you? and and honestly, I believe that he, they just split his personality in two pretty much when they need a new one. The commandership, ability, the leadership ability, commanding the ship, went to Picard, and the he sleep with every alien species possible went to Riker. And Riker wasn't super bad, but it's still. But anyways, um, Star Trek. That's Star Trek. Um, I love it because again, it's a future I could see. It's a future that a lot of people dream and hope the world is that way one day. Where the ultimate storyline underneath all of it, a lot of people don't even get this when they watch a show, is that humanity has come together. Um, when you don't really discover this storyline, this aspect of it until First Contact, a movie called First Contact. When you hear about Zachary and Cochrane and how he breaks the warp's barrier, um, warp one, and that makes other planets start to notice us, other planets that have life on them. And when we realize we're not alone out there, yes, Agent Fox, we're not alone. Different show, X Files. But when we realize we're not alone, we start working together. No one's worried about if you're black or if you're white or if you're Hispanic or if you're Asian. We didn't care about that. We were worried about the people who are coming to us now that were green and blue. you know, so we realized we weren't alone there was no longer worry about countries. Country borders are important when you're on one planet. But if there's other planets, then you got to worry about the border of of space. And when you worry about that, we came together as a human as a race. There was no longer races as in like say African, Asian. That didn't matter. It was human race, and that's why I love the storyline because we finally, as a planet, put the human race over all other races, and so it's a good storyline. But um, the one thing I don't like about Star Trek that much, is because again, when you go that route, 99% of the aliens they seem to run into are two legs, two arms, two eyes, two ears. I mean, it's like they're us in costume, and that's the thing. Is just like, yeah, you might get the run into a species of a race of aliens that are all 7'5" is average height. Okay, well, all they do is get former NBA players to dress up. You know what I'm saying? Just ooh, or they have gigantic ears. Okay, that's just costume and makeup, or they, scaly skin. Again, costume and makeup. I don't like that because I believe that if there's gonna be life on different planets, they're not gonna look just like us. They're not gonna. I mean, what? It took us forever to evolve our hands if you go the evolution route. And if that's the case, we went from hey, look, I got finger dexterity now, so I can, and our backs went from I can stand up straight now. I mean, on a different planet, what if things didn't grow tall like that? What if the things vegetation leveled out a lot? They wouldn't need straight backs as much, what if there was a hostile, elements like there's always volcanic eruption there. Their skin would be tougher, and they might even be more hunched over. Or what if evolution said they need a third eye, or or eye in the back of their head? I mean, it's just that everyone is pretty much built like us. It's like, yeah, but Star Wars, on the other hand, they didn't go that route. It's like you saw some humanoid looking, it was kind of rare. I mean, even Jar Jar, yeah, he has two arms and two legs from what I remember, but he don't look human. You had Jabba the Hutt. You had flying species, three eye species, one eye species. I mean, you just had everything. Star Wars imagination was insane on how many different type of the species they can come up with. I mean, you had Chewbacca, which tall guy in costume again. And then you had the Ewoks, who like his poops, the little tiny little brown thing, just even sentient robots and just. I mean, even the only android slash robot that's really talked about in Star Trek looked human. You know what I'm saying? But the most famous ones in Star Wars is R2D2 and CP3O. CP3O or C3PO. That's it. I mean, come on, man. R2D2 looks like a trash can with wheels. And he doesn't even talk. It's like it's just funny, but it's awesome. It's so creative at the time. But their outfits and costumes didn't live the test of time. I mean, you can almost start to see the zippers on some of them. It was just kind of, yeah, it is bad. And stormtroopers, while they looked amazing when you first saw them, they look like Battlestar Galactica ripoffs. Like they're kind of, it's like it's just the guys walking in suits that like actually make no sense. I mean, you couldn't fight in those super padded, super stiff suits. I mean, what are you gonna do? It takes you a couple seconds to probably turn around. Your vision has to be horrible. You're just, oh, it's just yeah. As time went, like I said, it didn't live the test of time. I haven't watched any of the new ones really. I know this would be pretty awesome, but I don't know. This faraway planet. They never talk about Earth. Like Earth doesn't exist, but I mean it's clear as day. Something's for a human, but I don't know. It's just never really got into it completely. So Star Trek is the one for me when I come to watching stuff. But I have some old school memories. I remember when I was like 4 or 5 years old. No, I had to be older than that because I wouldn't have been out by myself. I was probably 8. We lived right across the street, literally like 2 blocks from a movie theater, and I can go out by myself. Don't get that mistake. Make that mistake, but I can go across the street with my friends. So me and Mike used to go over to the movie theater, and back in the good old days, before you had to worry about everybody abducting you and grabbing you and doing crazy things bad to you, We would go there at like 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, whatever the first movie. I think it's 10 o'clock, first movie showing, and we buy one ticket. But because it wasn't that busy of a movie theater, and again, internet wasn't telling everybody's doing this, so people start stopping people from doing this. We bought a ticket and stayed there all day. I mean, literally, we watched. I think I must watch Empire Strikes Back like 30 times. I mean, I didn't really watch it 30 times, but I was in theater when it played at least 30 times because 4 times a day we did that. 3 days this week, 4 days next week, 2 days this week, until the movie's gone. And literally, we were poor, so we didn't have much stuff. And the red vine licorice boxes, we used to pretend they were planes and X-wing fighters and all that stuff, and fly down, run down the aisle. Like so this is the box candy. I got you. No, you did not. I ducked underneath. No, no, I hit hyperspace first before you hit me. It was just so much fun. I mean, oh, how miserable us adults make life. Um, when you're a kid, your biggest concern, like I say, is I wasn't even concerned that I was using an empty licorice box as a toy. That wasn't even a bothersome. You know, it wasn't even there was no worries like that. It was, but eventually, like they say, the adults ruin everything we do. You know, eventually they start having ushers there to make sure we weren't doing that run up and down the aisle. I guess eventually some adults complained because I'm pretty sure no other kid was there. It was like they would have complained. They probably would join in and played with us, But some adult at some point eventually complained about us making too much noise, so we had to stop doing it. And eventually some other adults bought their sons amazing toys, and the empty candy boxes no longer were cool. It's just even now. Today is Saturday. Yeah, Saturday is the anniversary again, and I'm only depressed because of the actions of adults. You know, and I'm an adult. I know some of my actions help lead to some of this, but it's funny because I know some people are gonna say, "Well, that's his side of the story." Or no, these are facts. I don't how people can ignore facts and say well, maybe that's not true, or they favor me, or even favor the other side. I mean, facts. Show me one moment that you saw I was a bad parent. Fact. Post anything you've ever read from anyone about me not being a great parent, a great father. I don't get it. And I've read stuff all the time. YouTube, or not YouTube, Yahoo News and stuff. Facebook updates about people beating their kids, putting boiling water on them, all kinds of horrible stuff. And those people still have their kids. And here I am, never imagine even missing a day of your lives, going on 2 months not seeing you, all because someone else and the person in my house decided to take you away. And people thinks there's two sides to the story, three sides, four sides, whatever. The only side that should matter is that they're boys, you guys. There are boys out there who don't have their father in their life. A father who loves them, cares about them, thinks about them every day. I slept maybe 3 hours last night again. This is the hardest day of the week for me every single week because I know what it means. I dream about better scenarios, which is actually kind of odd. I dream of all this working out, which I'm always been open to trying to figure things out because even when you were taken, it wasn't discussed with me on how to make things better. So I think my brain's still kind of stuck on stupid on that, like wondering how it can't be better. People go through these stages all the time. There's no relationship on this planet that's been perfect. None. I don't care how romantic the storyline seems of a real life relationship. None are perfect. But the thing that blows my mind is there are people out there who I can tell by their postings, their actions, they actually are cheering, wishful that we don't make this work. People who've never met me, people who never seen us interact with each other. I'm not talking about just me and you. I'm talking about the family as a whole. They've never even seen it, and they're hoping that we cannot fix this. That's their solution. Is that a family's torn apart instead of trying to work things out. And they would never say that. They would never admit that again. That's his side or that's how he's selling. No, I mean facts. Take my name out. Take Romeo. Take Casanova. Take your names out of the situation. When you guys are older, you understand what I'm saying. You understand how. Just say boy A and boy B, and parents A and parent B. Parent C, D, E, F. Doesn't matter. Will they really truly think a child would be better without his father, a father that cares about him? Do they really believe that that person A and person B shouldn't try to work things out for the sake of the kids? And that's sad because most of these people who are who have helped make this situation, they're married. They have kids. The only problem is they have adult kids. They have grown kids, and they forgot what it's like to be a parent of a 1 year old, a 2 year old, a 3 year old. They forgot. It's so far removed from their minds. But they think they were different. They think they didn't fight. They didn't have problems. And they say, "Oh, yeah, we did." No, no. Again, see right then and there. See what I did what you did. With you people out there who the people out there saying, I just did what they did, and they don't see it. I'm assuming, and I'm letting that assumptions interfere with even just logic. Come on now. Do they really think we, as a family, didn't care about you guys? We moved across the country for you guys. We want to give you a chance to be raised in the values, with traditional values that we want you raised in. And you will be raised with them. Lord's got that. Lord's going to take care of that. No matter how it ends up, Lord got you, boys. Don't worry about that. But man will fail you every single time. That's just human nature. That's humankind. That's what we do. That's why I love Star Trek. Because at the end of 45 minutes, 50 minutes, things are usually right. Things are back to normal. Think people have changed forever sometimes, but things are back to normal. But now in this world we live in, adults as adults, we don't want normal. Normal is boring. I mean, that's why we watch Star Trek. That's why we watch Star Wars. We don't want normal. Normal is boring. You ask a kid who's 4 or 5 years old, tell the storyline of a Star Trek or Star Wars, they can't. They like the explosions, the flashing lights, the colorful characters. Storyline isn't important to them. Normal is not important to them. And for us adults, like I say, we do ruin everything. So one day you guys have to grow up. You can't become Pinocchio. You can't be a little boy forever. You can't be Michael Jackson. Please. Well, don't. Well, the money side, success side, you can be that. But yeah, don't become Michael Jackson. Don't try to be a kid forever. You got to grow up one day, and these are harsh realities you have to deal with. We adults suck at keeping kids happy. We think we know what's best, and for the most part, we do in some situations, but not always. And how any adults out there to think that a caring father shouldn't know where his kids is for 2 months now and no insight is ridiculous. That's just our society should be that way. Period. But one day technology and law will catch up with it, and this will never happen again. Unfortunately, it had to happen to me, and fortunately, you guys are young enough that you won't remember none of this except for these videos, and that's why I'm making these videos. So there's a history. Our family history is gonna be important to you. It's gonna be important to us because I believe in family. I really do, boys. I love you. I'm glad you guys see your sister. She seems to come here every morning now for video time. I think she realized what's going on because she missed you guys too. On Saturdays, Friday nights usually. It's weird. I don't. She can't even tell dates as far as I know, but um, pretty much every weekend she has a little tough time sleeping too. Um, I usually hear her in the other room crying 2, 3 in the morning, trying to figure out what's going on, and we check on her, make sure she's okay, and that's all we can do. So, all right, boys, love you.